Hello everybody and welcome to Triad Reviews. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year guys. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's looking after themselves, keeping warm. Hope everyone's not working too many hours over the Christmas period. The Mission was released in 1999, directed by Johnnie Too, the man, the myth, the legend. And this film is so unique, reputation around it. It's won so many awards. It's definitely known for probably his best film, which is a big statement kind of thing because he's done so many great movies, and being a big fan of Johnnie Too and kind of diving into a lot of his movies over the past couple of years with the re-releases and the Chameleon release recently. Also, the fact this film has not got a good release, it's not got a decent Blu-ray. I don't think there's any Blu-ray. It's got a very old Hong Kong DVD available, which is very hard access. It's going for crazy money on eBay, but surprisingly, to my luck, it is available on YouTube for free to watch, which, you know, I gotta take the opportunity where I can to kind of watch these films and, you know, support them later on when they get the official release. And I definitely feel like this could get a really cool snazzy release, very similar to like Exiled and Breaking News did for the Chameleon films recently. The production history and the background for this film is so fascinating. The fact that it was done in 3 weeks, it had no script, the fact that he had limited locations, the fact that he kind of had very specific kind of dialogue, almost kind of ad-libbed a little bit, and he had a bunch of friends, a bunch of actors. Hey look, let's make a film. I've got not much resources, let's just go for it, let's just see what I can create as I'm making the film went along. Despite these limitations, he still managed to create a very slick, very stylized, very cool, straight to the point, 84-minute feature thriller that is fucking badass. Turning the negatives into positives is one of the benefits that Johnnie Too does so well with his kind of movies. He knows exactly what kind of shots he wants to make, he knows exactly what style of action he wants to kind of present, and he's turning these little nuggets into kind of character traits, and it's so fucking interesting. It's so well executed in the film. The storyline for The Mission is so simple, it's so grounded, it's so level, it's so appropriate to the film's kind of tone, and the fact they had no script and a little dialogue, it kind of benefits also, again, turning those negatives into positives. The film basically is 5 independent contractors, hitman, assassins, bodyguards, that basically work together to basically help a Triad boss, protection. Basically, they're looking after him, they're basically doing his kind of bodyguard duties. They're taking from point A to point C, and you've got a team of assassins that are going after this Triad boss, and you find out a little bit later who's behind it, and a little bit of kind of a power shift. Very simple film, nothing overcomplicated or kind of explosive. The film's kind of pure kind of focus is on these 5 characters and their kind of interactions with each other, that little bit of their background. Even though the character development is so thin and there's not much depth to them as much, you get to know them as the film goes along, and you get to know their kind of professionalism. And that's the key word I want to say about this film. This film felt so professional, so slick, so, you know, 90s in its approach, the way the characters interact. There's no funny one, there's no kind of individual kind of personas. There is just 5 individual people that basically are just become friends as the process goes along. They are from different backgrounds. You've got Anthony Wong, who's the main lead character in this film, who is kind of looking after the team. One of the things that benefits this film so much is translating this type of body language, this type of professionalism within its action set pieces. There's quite a few in the film, surprisingly, despite the limitations of the budget. It's an hour and kind of 20-minute film, and it gives you at least like 3 decent action set pieces, which are all 3 very unique, very different. You've got the outside kind of parking lot area with the sniper, you've got the kind of a shopping mall sequence, which is fantastic, then you got the warehouse sequence, and then you got the little bit of the 3rd act towards the end. So you're definitely going to get your kind of stylistic kind of bloodshed type of action-based sequences. You understand more about their character, you understand more about their persona, their body language, the way they kind of pick themselves up. There's this amazing sequence within the shopping mall where basically they're kind of just all locked into their position. You know, you've got 3 points of cover. They're basically covering the top, the bottom, the side, and they are locked. They do not move, you know, despite the bullets back and forth into in their head. They are locked into their position. They are perfectly still and angled to basically wait for that other person to move, because the opponents, the other assassins are going after the Triad boss. They're impatient, they're incompetent, they're making mistakes, they're kind of just going for it in terms of gun blazing kind of thing. And these are stone cold professionals, blank expressions, just straight up waiting to kind of kick ass and to kind of take their opportunity. They are razor focused. I love that kind of attention to detail, and it works so well with their characters. The fact they are so precise and they're so professional in their kind of body language, their manner, the lack of dialogue. There's no communication between them to go into like a unit without kind of saying anything, and I kind of love that. I kind of think that's just so cool. And there is some speculation, there is some rumors of potentially that Exile is an actual sequel to The Mission. I can see that to some degree. I can definitely could see that, because you got a lot of the same cast in this one. You got Simon Yepes in the film, Anthony Wong's the main leading character, and I can definitely tell that kind of same spirit, that kind of same kind of energy in terms of the friends and looking after each other, and kind of, you know, putting the kind of the honor code and, you know, your values up front kind of thing is very much the key factor in both films. I think Exile is a much more kind of explosive, much more kind of a, you know, emotionally empowering kind of film compared to the Mission. But despite that, this has still got that kind of same good feel towards it. And it surprised me as well, because the film was very contained. It feels kind of like, okay, this film is going to be like a really cool experience, but maybe kind of a one-off. As the film went along, my rating, my kind of appreciation, my kind of excitement factor just went up and up and up and up, and it did it just the right level, the right amount of pacing, the right editing, the right stylistic choices to make this something truly excellent, truly remarkable. And by the end, I was like, fuck yeah, clapping. And that music, that great soundtrack music, really helped as well. And I don't think it's going to be for everyone. I think some people might dislike that, but I think he actually worked really well with the film. One of the things it does have that Johnnie To does so goddamn well is so much goddamn tension. This film is riddled with tension and kind of atmospheric sequences, from the three main action set pieces, from the cool, awesome sniper section where they're both trying to get the advantage on the sniper. Fantastic. I really like how they kind of all interacted with trying to get the Triad boss into the vehicle. I liked the kind of the shopping mall sequence as mentioned. I thought that was just so procedural. And one of Johnnie To's biggest signature kind of themes is about loyalty. It's about friendship. It's about kind of, you know, doing the right thing and kind of making mistakes but living up to it, or like how each sequence kind of plays off each other. There's a really brilliant sequence where, you know, one of the main characters, Anthony Wong's character, is just waiting for an order. He's just standing there waiting. He's given the green light, boom, 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 done. Okay, let's walk out. Music plays. That's it. It's just, there's no kind of conversation. There's no kind of, oh, why have you done this? Who's your boss? Who's this? Everything is just so cold in the way that it's kind of executed. And into the film, I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's very appropriate. It's very personal. I don't think this film's going to work for everyone. I do think this film won't click for people. I do think it's going to be a bit like, hey, where's the characters? Where's the story? Where's this? Where's that? And I can understand that to some level, but I do think if you stick with it, I do think if you click what the film is trying to go for in terms of its themes, in terms of sticking with these 5 characters and reading between the lines, the fact that they don't have a lot of dialogue in a lot of places, the fact they use a lot of body language and the facial expressions and just the way they interact with each other, that for me says a lot. I've got a good release as of yet. Please, Chameleon Films, you know what you want to do, release the film on Blu-ray. I would absolutely recommend The Mission, guys. Please comment down below what are your thoughts and opinions on The Mission, what are your thoughts and opinions on other Johnnie To films, what are your favourite Johnnie To films, please comment down below. So in the meantime, guys, I'm Food Views, signing out.